Okay. Hello students, welcome to second year commerce class. We are in functions of bank. Our chapter name is banking services, which is playing a very important role in the Indian economy. We can say that banks are banking sector is the backbone of Indian economy. If banking sector does not perform well, the entire economy gets collapsed or will be facing lot of difficulties. This practically we have observed in 2016 when Government of India went for a demonetization, where certain banks were closed for certain number of days. You were given only limited currency. ATMs were closed for 10 to 15 days. Then we have seen how we have struggled to do our business transactions. So, in the entire economy, bank play a very important role. How it plays a very important role, that also we have discussed it. Because it acts as a bridge between surplus sector and deficit sector. It allows the funds to flow from one point to another point without any disturbance, without any deviation, without any delay. So that's how the bank helps, facilitates the business transactions and other economic activities take place in a smooth manner. That is the role of bank in the Indian economy. Not only in Indian economy, but in every economy, bank has got a very great role to play. So here, the other day in the previous class, we have discussed about accepting of deposits. We have learnt that a banker accepts deposits in 4 ways. That is fixed deposit, current deposits, saving deposits and recurring deposits. These are the 4 accounts we have learnt. Now, I told you in my previous class that bank will take deposits. Deposits are in, loans are out. Okay. Deposits will come into the business, into the bank, and loans will go out of the bank. So here, customers will take various forms of loans for their purpose. Okay, customers will take their loans according to their requirement. So, a bank is acting as a mediator between the deposit holders and the borrowers. These customers, once they take loan from the bank, they will be termed as borrowers. So now bank is taking deposits. This part we have learnt yesterday. That means in the previous class, we have learnt that bank will take deposits. How many types of deposits it is taking, ma? 4 types. Fixed deposits, current deposits, saving deposits and recurring deposits. What is the main difference or what is the main feature of each deposit and what is the difference between the different types of deposits, where we are given benefit, where we are paid interest and where we are not paid? That all we have discussed in the previous class. Now we are going to discuss about how many types of loans a bank will provide you. That means if you want to avail finance from the bank, you want to take loan from the bank, how many types you can take? Okay, like deposits are accepted in 4 methods, in 4 ways. Similarly, bank will give loans also in various manners. Okay, in different manners, in different names, the bank will provide you loans. Like when you come to a college is single, only one college. But you have got different groups according to the subjects you are studying. You have got MEC, you have got CEC, MPC, BIPC. Even sometimes we may have different medium, MPC Telugu medium, MPC English medium, MPC Urdu medium. Like that you will have. Means here, according to the subject you are studying, according to the group you are studying, according to the language you are studying, your category is there. You are grouped into one particular category. So similarly, according to the nature, according to the rate of interest, according to the duration, the loans are termed into many. The first one is overdraft. What is overdraft? Withdrawing excess money from your account. Withdrawal of excess money from account, then your balance. Say for example, in Andhra Bank Santosh Nagar, I have got my account. So in my account balance, I have got say 15,000. Okay. Now, if I write the check, I withdraw 20,000. My account balance is only 15,000. But I am withdrawing 20,000. How much extra I am withdrawing? 5,000 rupees. 5,000 rupees excess money withdrawn. This is called OD, overdraft, on which I will pay interest. Now you should get a doubt. Sir, is it allowed to every account holder or every customer of the bank? No. This overdraft facility is given only to the current account holder. That means generally who is a businessman who opens a current account with the banker is given such facility of withdrawing the excess money over the balance available in his account. That too after a prior agreement between the manager and the customer. Means you should enter into an agreement with the bank manager that, sir, I have got current account with your bank. I am the regular customer and I will be dealing with your bank in a regular manner. Every day I will be depositing money and I will be withdrawing. So please provide me, give me a facility of overdraft up to an amount of 1 lakh rupees or 2 lakhs rupees. Some limit is there. You are not allowed to withdraw unlimited amounts. So the customer and the manager comes to an agreement that what is the maximum amount of overdraft should be given and in how many months the customer is going to clear it. That means there will be a cut-off date. At that date you have to settle your account. Again the overdraft will continue later, next period. Okay? So this is how the bank rotates money. Means sometimes what happens, particularly the traders and the business community, they don't know what is the amount of balance they have got in bank. So suddenly they write down the check. So if the check goes to bank and the sufficient balance is not available in the account, it gets dishonored. So if a check is dishonored, the trader gets blame in the market that he is not having sufficient money and he will be penalized. Your record will, like a student fails in the examination, naturally it is a bad record. Similarly, when a trader gives a check and it is dishonored, fails to make the payment, then you will be penalized for that. Sometimes even you may be booked under a cheating case when you give the check and you don't honor it. So you comes under 420. So that is a legal problem. So to avoid that, what you have to do is you have to enter into with the bank manager. The customer and the bank manager will come to an agreement that even though in the account sufficient balance is not there, the customer is allowed to withdraw extra money than the available balance. So 15,000 is there, you can draw 20,000, 25,000, even 50,000, but up to the maximum limit of say 1 lakh or 2 lakhs according to your agreement. So once that limit is over, now you have to repay, then you continue your overdraft. So whatever the extra money you have withdrawn from the bank is called as overdraft. So on this you have to pay interest. So bank will get interest on this overdraft. So interest on overdraft is expenditure to the customer, it is income to the bank. interest on overdraft is income to the bank. I hope you understood it. And it is expenditure to the customer because we have to pay. Next, cash credit. Cash credit means whenever you apply for some loan, the banker will not give you cash on hand. Directly, if you apply for say 1 lakh rupees or 2 lakhs rupees, the bank will not give you cash and you cannot spend it like anything. The sanctioned amount of loan will be credited to your account. So you have to withdraw that amount according to the usage. You have to inform the banker the purpose. So some smaller amounts you have to withdraw from your account and you have to inform the bank for what purpose you are using it. So slowly means at a time you are not given the cash to use some amount according to the sanction, according to the permission, according to your application, some amount will be credited to your account. From the account you have to withdraw on different days. According to the terms specified by the bank, you have to withdraw that money and use it for your purpose. That is called as cash credit. Next, discounting bills of exchange. Discounting bills of exchange. What is a bills of exchange, ma? Bills of exchange is like a promissory note, a document. It is a document in which one person agrees to pay money at a later date. Bills of exchange is a document in which one person promises to pay money at a later date. For example, Mr. A, seller, B, buyer. So A sold goods worth 10,000. 10,000 worth goods are sold by A to B. Now B said that money will be paid after 2 months. Money will be paid after 2 months. A is the seller and B is the buyer. Money will be paid after 2 months. Suppose he says orally that it is paid, money is paid after 2 months, and you don't have any written proof, any document with you. So you will be in trouble. So that is the reason what Mr. A has to do. He has to take a written commitment from B that he will pay money after 2 months. So then comes a document. So Mr. A will write a document that B has to pay money after 2 months. So they will create a bill. So for 10,000 rupees. So B will sign that he will pay that money. Okay, later on when it comes to offline classes and some topic is there, bills of exchange in practical manner we will discuss later on. So try to understand here, a seller, one person is selling, the other person is buying. But this buyer is not in a position to pay money right now. He is taking credit. He is promising that money will be paid after 2 months. That means if it is paid, goods are sold on 7th October 2020, he is going to pay money on 7th December 2020. Okay. So when these 2 months gap is given, October to December, 2 months gap is given, there is no guarantee that Mr. B will come and turn up and pay the money if you do not have any proof with you. So what we have to do? We should write a bill. We have to create a document. So in the document, Mr. A will write that, Mr. B, you have to pay me 10,000 rupees after 2 months from this date. 2 महीने के बाद आप पैसे पे करना बोल के ये बोलता, ये एक डॉक्यूमेंट लिखता, उसके ऊपर B साइन करता. Okay, so when B signs that he is agreeing to pay money after 2 months, then that becomes a negotiable instrument, that becomes a official document for money's worth. So its value is worth 10,000. After B signed the document, it comes to Mr. A. Now remember, in any case of bills of exchange, when once goods are sold on credit, goods will go to the buyer and bill will come to the seller. So instead of giving cash, the buyer will give a bill. That means it has got the money's worth. So by keeping the document with us, after 2 months we can collect the money. Clear, ma? Now that is done. Now what happens? You are going to receive money in the month of December. You are going to receive the money in the month of December. But you are in October now. Now you are in need of funds. आपको पैसे चाहिए. Now what you can do? You can take this bill to your bank. A can take that bill to his bank and tell the banker that, sir, I have to get 10,000 rupees after 2 months. After 2 months from Mr. B, but I am in need of funds. अभी मुझे पैसे चाहिए. आप ये डॉक्यूमेंट रख के हमें पैसे दीजिए. That is what called as discounting of bills of exchange. So when Mr. A gives this bill to bank, what the banker will do? Actual bill worth is 10,000. Bill worth is 10,000. But you are taking money 2 months in advance. So banker will deduct the interest of 2 months like 200 or 100 rupees. Then 9,800 rupees will be credited to your account. So you can use that money for your business purpose. After 2 months, B will make the payment to bank. After 2 months, B will make the payment to bank. So in bills of exchange, when a person draws the bill, when a person writes a bill, this is called as drawer. Mr. A is called as drawer. B is called as drawee. So when the drawer creates a bill, drawee has to sign, and on the due date, he has to make the payment into bank. So Mr. A, that is the drawer, is able to get money in advance. Actually from B, he has to get money after 2 months. But he has got the facility of discounting that bill with the bank 2 months in advance. So on the due date, Mr. B will make the payment to bank. Clear? This is called as bills of exchange. This is also a way of financing. Means bank will facilitate this type of bills of exchange to enable credit, to enable funds to the trading community. Imagine if this bank does not discount the bill created by any trader, then this person will struggle in the market. He has to wait till 2 months to get his money back. Okay, he has to wait till 2 months. He is writing the bill in the month of October. He is going to get the amount in December. Clear? So if the bank is not giving the facility of discounting, Mr. A will struggle. Got it? So bank is giving that facility of discounting. This is also one way of giving the loan. Next, money at call. Money at call means, in our previous classes, we have learnt that stockbroking firms are giving finance to various investors to buy the shares. Okay, in stock market, in stock exchange, in need of stockbroker, services of stockbroker, we have learnt that stockbrokers finance the investors to buy the shares. So they are also in need of funds. So when the stockbrokers keep some security of shares with the bank, okay, any Andhra Bank, any State Bank, certain commercial banks and private banks also. So when the stockbrokers keep the shares as security, they are provided some loan for very short period like 7 days. Money at call is available only for a short period called 7 days. Clear? Next we have got term loans. Okay. What do we mean by term loans? What is a term? It is the duration. Term is the duration. Like 3 months, 6 months, whatever we call in the regular terminology. EMIs. What is EMI? Equal monthly installments. EMI stands for equal monthly installments. So nowadays you see that banks are providing loans to buy houses, cars, to start a business, okay, to study, for marriages. The bankers are providing various kinds of loans. So what they do? They divide the entire loan into certain number of months. Suppose you have taken 10 lakhs rupees and you promise that you will pay in 10 years. Clear? So for 10 lakhs rupees, the interest is 2 lakhs something. So 12 lakhs. In 10 years, how many months will be there, ma? Per annum? 12 months. So in 10 years, 120 months. So 12 lakhs divided by 120. So every month 10,000 rupees you have to pay as installment. Every month 10,000 rupees per month you will be paying as installment. For how long you will be paying? For 10 years. It is your wish. Whether you are ready to pay in 10 years or 15 years or 20 years. Bankers will provide you the term according to your payment capacity. If you are a high salaried person, you can repay within short time, means you can pay in 6 months or 8 months or 1 year also. But here, according to our repayment capacity, the bank will provide you the term. It is your wish whether you take long duration or short duration. Got it? Then, consumer credit. What is consumer credit? The bank allows you to pay certain items. The bank allows you to pay certain items like washing machines or some other items, okay, other household appliances, furniture. So you need not pay. Consumer is not going to pay. On behalf of the consumer, the bank is going to pay. So in simple terms, you can call it as credit card. Consumer credit can be called as credit card. That means bank will give you a card in advance. Even though you do not have any cash, you visit any showroom, you purchase the appliance by showing that card. That means when you use that card, why the shopkeeper is giving you the goods, on behalf of you, the bank is paying. Why the bank is paying? Is it paying it free of cost? Is it donating you? No. In future you will be repaying that in again installments, in terms. So every credit card will have a limit, 40,000, 50,000. So you can use till that extent. And once the limit is over, then you have to pay the installments to the banker. So initially when you purchase on behalf of the customer, the bank will pay the money. Later, when I receive the income, I have to clear the loan to bank. So this service is not done at free of cost. It is done to charge interest. See, the more number of loans, the more number of services provided by the bank, that gives income to the banker. If you are sitting idle, means money is taken from the deposit holders and you have not provided loans to the customers, means bank cannot run, bank cannot survive. See, it has to collect interest from these people and from this they have to pay interest to these people. So if suppose interest is collected 12% over here, they may be paying 8% over here. So 4% is income to the bank. So if you are not given the loans, you are not given the advances, bank cannot earn money. If you are not earning money, how do you repay the interest to the deposit holders? Then you cannot accept deposit also. So it is a cycle. You have to take money from the deposit holders, then give loans to the customers. So here the bankers have to innovate various methods. Maybe 15 years back this credit card system was not there, maybe 20 years back. So now credit cards have become common. For every individual employee who has got the earning capacity, who shows some income proof, is given a credit card by the banker, so that with the help of the card he can buy anything in the market. Okay, legal goods. क्रेडिट कार्ड है बोल के गन नहीं खरीद सकते, आप बम नहीं खरीद सकते. रिमेंबर दिस पॉइंट. कुछ भी खरीद सकते बोले तो मधुसूदन सर बोले सो हमारे पास क्रेडिट कार्ड है, सो लेट अस गो टू द सम हैबिट्स. ओके, आर्म शॉप एंड बाई ए गन. नो, मीन्स यू कैन बाई ए लीगल गुड्स. So any textiles, footwear, food items, groceries, furniture, like that you can buy. So that is what called as consumer credit. Consumer credit means the banker allows the customers to do shopping, to buy certain things. On behalf of you, the bank will pay. That is called as consumer credit. Then financing internal and foreign trade. Financing internal and foreign trade. This already you have learnt in the first year. Internal trade means domestic trade. Foreign trade means international trade. In both the cases, the traders whether he is a wholesaler trader or retail trader or a export trader or import trader. This year again we have got international trade. Okay, so these people, traders, require lot of money for their transactions. See, if you do not have money, you cannot buy the goods. If you cannot buy the goods, you cannot sell. Similarly, if consumer, that means the trader from wholesaler, a retailer has to buy the goods. If retailer is not given the loans, he cannot approach the wholesaler. So this bank will create credit. So it will, by giving money to the traders at various levels, at national level or at the international level, by providing funds to the traders, it allows the trading community to do their business activities in a smooth manner by rotation of the funds. Clear? So these are the various loans given by the banks to all the customers. We have got the repaying capacity. Clear, ma'am? So this way, banker is accepting deposits and lending money. That means advancing loans. Remember, at both the cases, bank is not going to do anything at free of cost. If you deposit, you will get interest. If you take loan, you have to pay interest. The difference of interest will be the income to the banker. Got my point? So these are the primary functions. In our next class, we will be discussing about secondary services.